really dropped by the LPL. Still getting a lot of play in the LCK, but I like the fact that we see it here, Roth. I feel like this is a really good scenario for it for Vampire. Which he... Okay, well, it's coming off cooldown.
I think he's just completely giving it up.
Okay, he's bailing.
Yeah.
It's Dragon time. Okay. Yeah, I was a little curious about that. I feel like you had options. That can be really big. Feels like whatever conditions were going on for NIP, just going to be a trade, and if they want any grubs, we'll have to look at the second spawn of them.
You know what? On the one hand, it seems uncharacteristic for NIP to not just say, yeah, we can take this fight, you know, see what happens.
Positives for NIP on this top side just by making it stable, and Team WE going to look to change things now as Monkey has 6.
Monkey fully aware that there could be
we're
something
dead.
top lane, just goes immediately in. The Impale is going to grab one, but the cease and desist buffered through the Impale allows him to get the knock up in the Cube, but Shanji's just taking so much damage, it ends up being a 1-for-1 with Cube getting the first kill. And IP don't want to drop all the grubs here, just wanting to get in range and smite at least one away. Vampire leads the charge, and the W clips Aki, but he's able to use the cease and desist to buy some time through the Impale. Oh, PP got it! Look at that, Doinby! Yoinks Monkey's Impale and says, I can do it better, baby! NIP just out of nowhere completely sweep the fight, and Taeyun and Karas are forced to retreat.
Yeah, I think the Cube is trying to sprint for the Triforce to the point where he was ahead, but the fact that he has no MR now really hurts. He's going to be careful here. He's going to try and Q out of this one. Oh, Ignite dropped is dangerous.
Oh, no! No! Ooh! What was that, 48 HP?
Yeah, I mean, trade to Summoner Spells is trade up for Shanji, and he's healthy enough where he gets to stick around, so...
There's not going to be a chance to use it in an upcoming fight. Might as well see if you can get extra charges on your passive. Oh, mid lane, leave. Good night, no chance. We're going to be able to get out this one, but Doinby comes in with the Emperor's Divide. Magnastorm right on top. Aki now joins the fight, looks for the AD carry, and Taeyun shuts him down, flashes away. Monkey tries to send it into the tower, but just doesn't have enough damage behind him to follow up.
Doesn't look a decent find there from Team WE.
Yeah, they're still... They're like technically behind in gold, but it's just under 1,000. So they're still in a decent spot where they can scale into this team fighting composition that we already outlined at the top of the series. Now they're on the Rift Herald. NIP trying to leash it down, still below 5k HP, but now WE have more numbers to their name. Doinby and Lee finally showing up to the party. A curtain call is going to open up the fight. Vampire completely isolated, and then Shanji arrives. Look at the needlework shredding through Cube, and Taeyun and Karas are just forced to retreat because their front line is getting completely terminated. And NIP, I don't think they can do any wrong here. Taeyun had to watch Karas send it and just to die. And now, WE, the gold deficit has ballooned to about 2,000. NIP, with this Rift Herald, can get so much more off the map.
I like that take from NIP. The ultless fight, truly, from Team WE. I mean, it was only the Emperor's Divide that was really available for them in that one. Made a huge difference.
Yeah, the Flash Emperor's Divide, just to give a brief moment of CC from Taeyun to maybe shred through. Meanwhile, back to live. It's the Dragon. The Keeper's Verdict sends not the right target, as NIP still have a jungler to smite away that objective from WE's hands.
Yeah, the Doinby Keeper's Verdict being a little bit of that upgraded Silas one there. Was able to find Monkey, sent the right person back, whereas Vampires did not. And this Rift Herald crash is going to come with a fight being forced.
Aki is sending it. The Deadly Flourish connects on the Taeyun. He's forced to pop the cleanse, but now he's got to dodge the Sniper's Bullet from the Crow's Nest. Meanwhile, NIP have isolated Monkey and Vampire in the middle, but they don't have the damage dealers to really follow up, but they're just creating space for this Rift Herald to get another charge into the mid lane.
Or as I should say, went sideways from Shanji thanks to the Magnet Storm of PP God. But besides that, good find. Team WE much needed for them as they're going to look for this turret. Cube, we'll see if he can get out.
He's going to buffer the cease and desist through the Counter-Strike. Nicely done. And now Cube is trying to find a way to get out over the wall. Jeez, Aki just soloing Cube in the bot side of the map.
Really clean there on the Vi. That buffer was very well played. Aki, willing or able to push anything else down, just going to lead to a top outer turret falling. So well played, WE.
Yeah, they didn't have to do anything. NIP just kind of did it to themselves. They burned a teleport on Shanji, and unfortunately,
Shanji wants it. Okay.
No.
I thought they could have brute force Karas off, but again, wanting to respect some of the recalls that recently came out from WE as they're back out on the map, and Monkey has found Doinby Vampire.
Yeah, Vampire willing to flash over the wall to pin Doinby into that pit. Taeyun was also there in range, and even Karas getting a chance to chip in for a little bit of that. He actually got the kill credit as well. Well, now that's a 5v4 guaranteed on the map. Otacon started up by WE.
Azir can rip through this. Doinb doesn't have TP to join to, and he gets back. So, again, a 5v4 for WE. Do have Cube approaching at an angle. We'll see if NIP can spot it out as curtain call.
There is no Impale anymore from Monkey, but Aki just can't get through. PP God is doing everything that he can to hold the front line. Otacon has been stopped, but Taeyun flashes forward to finish off the support. Karras tries to swoop on in, but cannot close the distance against Leave, as he's able to sprint super fast backwards. But he doesn't have a curtain call. He's super low on HP. It seems dangerous.
I'm concerned for WE. I am concerned for WE. I know Doinb is still coming up and coming out of the Death Chamber. If he's able to get here and get here in time, there is no Skarner ultimate. It's really only the Emperor's Divide and Jack's ultimate that can be big for WE. They also don't really have a way to keep Aki out if he is able to buffer that Emperor's Divide. Does help that he's spotted, and does help that Otacon was burned through. Only the GAs for WE, no flowers to stick around and take. Positive sequence for WE. I feel like at the end, they actually got quite a bit out of that, and maybe even more.
Shanji's in trouble. 1v2 again. It's Monkey and Karras working together to sync up, not even needing the Emperor's Divide this time. Shanji just a little too far forward for Monkey to be able to easily
that's huge.
Lock him down. I mean, and now WE, they're just ripping through Baron.
That TP for Shanji to play for the Otacon was so bad, because that's why we see Doinb bot now and not Shanji trying to stretch the map. So he just melts at the hands of Skarner, and now it's pretty easy to keep Vi out of the pit. With Poppy on her heels, this is Baron going over to WE.
Yeah. No way that Aki can actually get in there. Wow, WE.
More than one mistake, too. And it's one thing for the TP to get burned, another thing, though, to still get caught out for that sequence. And both solo laners now of NIP getting caught and leading to good sequences for WE. But that should not be happening. There was so much focus put into Shanji, making sure that he was healthy and had a good game state in this game, for them to then pull him away from the game state that he wants, to overgroup, to burn that TP for Otacon, which led to really nothing and only positives for WE. That's a pretty big mistake for NIP to be having in a game like this, and WE continue to punish as another inner turret gonna fall. Bot has already been taken, and WE, the push continues.
Cube has now matched him on item parity for now. Sundered Sky plus that Trinity Force. And Aki was trying to look for a flank, but is spotted out by Monkey. Flashes exchanged. There's still a cease and desist. Vampire's going to find him with the slam into the wall. And Aki has no choice but just to send it. PP God now following up with the Magna Storm. Shanji, great TP on the backside. Now it's all about seeing if Karras can survive, but that's not going to be the case here. Cube arrives. Counter-Strike running to the back. It's up to Doinb and Leave to carry this fight through. Cube head with the Grandmaster's Might. Does he have enough damage? Doinb tried to live to the very end, but the Counter-Strike will not survive as long as Leave still has got another bullet in the chamber. Working as well as they would like, because they have been spotted on that backboard. WE challenging the Tribush, looking for Doinb. Good sidestep on the Impale, and now he has his own Impale, and he's going to bring the Scorpion right back into the waiting arms of NIP. And no one from WE wants to step up because they fear that the consequences would be too great. They've lost their jungler seemingly for free, and NIP should just be able to take Cloud Soul.
RZs have been really impactful in slowing down NIP. But playing directly into them like that, and Karras kind of took a weird E over the wall, too. Wasn't exactly able to follow up. I think that your read of them wanting to just be cautious about that was accurate, but and it's just going to be given over. So for all the good things that Team WE were doing, things really have kind of come collapsing down now in the past few minutes, the way it was kind of collapsing down for NIP in the mid game. Yeah. He's also been too far up on a couple different occasions this game. It has really cost his team. I'm thinking back to that second grub fight too in the corridor. They overextended into NIP. That was kind of off Monkey overextending to get that fight started, just not warranted. And again, WE, it feels like they really had a winning angle in this game, Rafa, but that late TP from Cube, I think, killed them on the bot side. Because Shanji was so big in the fight, as Monkey's going to get PP God for free.
Might be a decent look here. Okay, WE now have a 5-on-4. PP God, not sure if he was too far forward or just not willing to burn the flash, but...
Yeah, Doinb was top, no TP. Good look from Team WE. They had numbers.
There's a lot of too far forward moments that's happening in this game.
It's an NIP game, Rafa, you know? It happens.
Oh, Monkey. He really wanted that wolf. Is he going to pay for it? 2 more bullets to dodge. Karras can... NIP
That's expensive.
have a 5-on-4 advantage, and this could just be the end of the game if they can push in and siege through correctly.
I saw one down click from Karis, and that might have cost them everything as Cube TP's in, has to hop back to his teammate. That's one inhibitor down. NIP, 30 seconds still on Monkey. Wants to be that elusive, you know? Needed the practice going Matrix mode in those bullets.
All right, well, Cube, he's got no one to stand behind to avoid all the curtain call bullets, and the lockdown from NIP makes it so easy for that final bullet to connect. Another 5-on-4 for the next 53 seconds. The things that you listed out happened for WE, so all that effort almost doesn't matter anymore. Now Vampire getting jumped out, looking for another curtain call. This third and final bullet. This time it's not doesn't bend around.
Cube.
But meanwhile, on the right side, Cube is isolated, and I think there was a keeper's verdict used by Doinby to punt away Monkey. Cube runs to the safety of his comrades, and Vampire gives his life to try and give the rest of WE a way out. But PP God is going to isolate Cube once again. He jumps to the safety of Karis, but Aki is looking to lock them down. Karis slides onto the right. Leave getting interrupted by Monkey, but the Impale misses on Leave and only grabs the other two members here. Taeyun still trying to put as much damage as he can, but Leave has
in the
all
base.
the damage in the world. Taeyun is just trying to do it all against 3 members, but this fight doesn't matter here because you called it. Shanji had teleported into the base, the Nexus exposed, and WE damned all their efforts. It was so close, but NIP still in the end will take game 1. It's not like you are, you know, really pressed for damage, at least, since WE went for basically 4 damage threats in their entire top side and just the one dedicated frontline engage tank.
WE wins early. They have to win early or else the game is doomed. Now that it's the on-hit Varus, looking like they favor the multi-threat later on. I will say Aatrox can be a little bit scary. And this setup quite interesting. They must have scouted that Cube starts on this top side because they're burning a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I respect the flash out of Aki to follow him over the wall. No way.
Yep.
Well, Shanji can close the distance and flash over the wall with his own decimating smash, and that is first kill of the game going over the Shanji. Now Doinby might be in trouble because he burned his own flash, and
I like this.
Vampire's going to try to punish with the flash pulverize. Ignite ticking down. Vampire does get the kill, which is not necessarily ideal. Aki almost getting his life the forfeit as well.
Pryo.
He's gonna go back around. The return game flash send his blade. The seismic shove is all the way in the back, but Aki can't close the distance quite yet. Tries to take up wood turret shot. Aki's gonna send it, but he's gonna pay for his life. And at the very least, NIP can say, well, it's only Alistar getting kills so far. Trying to camp the hell out of a mid laner that has no flash, you know. Damn be the win condition, you know. Now, first grub rotation. WE, whoa, Vampire immediately pulling the trigger, finding a nice seismic shove follow-up on PP God. Aki's trying to get into the thick of things and goes after Vampire, gets a decent kill back, but it is a 1-for-2 in favor of WE.
Yeah, Taeyun got that wave in on the top side. It looks like Leave has it frozen. So was late to rotate over to the objective, trying to keep the wave where it is. And Taeyun will be the one that helps his team secure the first 3 grubs. There's a nice little skirmish there. And a good engage from Vampire, Rafa. See, that's a good one right there. Monkey being up in this matchup is big, because once Wukong gets up, your ability to stat check you is pretty significant. Naki gonna have to do his way around the Wukong. Monkey.
It's pretty difficult. 2 casts of the Cyclone should be enough for damage. The healing from the passive almost gave him a chance back in the game, but because they dragged Karis over into the blue quadrant and overextended for the play, Shanji and Doinby make the collapse happen, and now it's Doinby that benefits from the scenario.
Down numbers on the map with Cube in base. That's just a really tough play from Team WE.
Yeah, and now NIP's mid-jungle duo are both on their 1-item spikes, so they have full control of this dragon and are able to take a lot of fights favorably just off of the strength of this big spike at 11 minutes into the game. I mean, Doinby is pretty much 2/3 of the way on the Victor full evolution arc. Arcane Season 2 has come at last for NIP's sake, and WE, unless they can, you know, spot in an Echo and a Jace on their composition, I don't think their chances are going to be good. Nice, at least for WE, to... Actually, they haven't been able to deny any Krubs so far. Shanji gets flicked. A lot of burst damage onto the Mega Tank. Already 50% HP, but now NIP send it on the right side of that fight, but here comes
Vampire.
Q. Massive engage from Vampire. 4-man pulverize. Stuns up NIP in its tracks. And he
by NIP with both these monster objectives spawning, but it looks like it's actually just going to be a handshake. The objectives at the moment is Shanji burns the R. Cube, again, no flash.
Do you think this is just the purpose of just trying to chunk out Cube right before the fight and forcing the
do that and get the wave in, because they're on Herald, but that's been skipped over as Cube's dead now.
Oh, and Aki collapses alongside the rest of NIP's Death Squad. 4-man dedicated to that
That's
top
a lot
side
of time,
dive.
though.
Yeah,
Cube
WE
played
are
that
able to burn
okay.
the dragon in the flip side.
Vampire gonna get the flash out of leave. That's actually kind of nice. It looks goofy from Vampire, but that's okay. They get mid too. I think that's well worth it for WE, who picked up the priority turret. They didn't get a kill, but they got the dragon too. Highlight. Aziz's convergence coming in for Vampire. So when he pops that ult, whoever he ends up comboing, going to be stuck in the slow field. Can be sometimes useful on the Alistar as, okay, party gets started. Shanji coming in. Herald secured.
Who is he going to hit? Oh, yeah.
Good
by
Vampire.
Vampire to at least absorb the unstoppable onslaught from Shanji, but the rest of WE are not on proper battle lines. Everyone is forced to retreat and scatter, and NIP are just running them out of the jungle.
Kind of expected, given the lack of soda spells and really important people, and Cube just straight up wasn't even there either at the fight. As it was a nice engage from Shanji. So NIP end up coming out on top of that play. It's good.
That was such a...
It took a while to get through, but we got there.
Yeah, that was a wild mental train you just took me
We're
aboard on.
trading outers, Rafa. It's fine. We can afford to take this time.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right in that point. NIP at least trying to set up stronger vision control over not only...
Big fan of the dragon being taken, as NIP has good control here.
Vampire, can he find another heroic engage? Goes in, pops the Unbreakable Will, but Aki turns right onto the backline. Doimbe eviscerates that cow. Ground beef and burgers are on the menu, boys, once again, and NIP are serving it hot. WE forced to retreat and give away the dragon.
Fight for Doimbe and leave the play, as they end up getting a very strong front-to-back fight. Make quick work of Team WE, and that's going to be an Otacon and a lot of flowers secured as NIP. I know it doesn't show in the gold on the scoreboard, but I think given the scaling, given the champs they have, it just took a lot of control over in this game.
But didn't work out for Vampire this time around, as WE going to have to find a way to...
I assume you're talking about water slides there, which, gold.
Dude, water slides face first, definitely biggest dopamine surge ever. Also adrenaline, but Shanji... can he find a way out of this one? Flashing over the Weaver's wall, and yeah, he went down the water slide on the other side of that wall. WE not getting a chance to lock down the big super tank. It did cost Shanji's flash and ultimate, and they're going to continue with the siege on this bottom side of the map.
It's going to be an inner for pressure on two turrets. Nice sidestep there by Taeyun as dodging out of the wind becomes lightning. Make sure that he saves his life, but Aki's still pushing him out to the bot side of the rift. Means that NIP, they're farming out 3 lanes. So yes, the outer turret falls, or inner turret falls in favor of Team WE. But Doinbe is working on that bot inner to even it up and leave. Got some work done in mid. Yeah, he is. It's the classic Doinbe tech where he just... Oh, hold on, we got to pause. Taeyun has to cleanse.
Now Shanji sent it on the unstoppable onslaught. Vampire tries to buy space, and they trade 1 for 1. Aki now with the pressing guard. Maybe there's a chance for Cube to change the tides of the battle here, but he is getting chunked out by all the damage from NIP.
First fell, but Leave won the HP bar war pretty heavily there as he was pumping on the Ezreal in the back half. He's got Shojin too. That's scary.
Enough,
yeah.
Third dragon for NIP.
Mountain Dragon's scary too.
Yeah, I mean, this is... You are just adding more resistances to a super tank and Shanji, and then Doimbe just gonna get...
The inner's inventory, if I'm NIP, I don't care what you're building. I think everything's pretty useful. Is Vampire trying to be useful?
Pretty good pick set up by Vampire into the seismic shove. Okay. That's a 5-on-4 guaranteed now. Vampire is going to be probably taking a base.
This wall to turn, but I think with Vampire being in base, you can't really hit this. And Vampire with no ultimate yet.
Karis doesn't have flash from before.
Oh,
Leave, does he send it the shift forward? Yeah, this Ezreal is cooking, baby. 3 items, you called it. That's the big spike, and Leave is making do with it.
Monkey
and now Monkey finds himself on the other side of the fight. isolated for now, but there's no follow from the rest of NIP. The decimating smash might buy some time, but Monkey's able to flash forward after Aki. But Doinby and Leave have completely done away with Vampire on the other side of the fight, but now Leave is isolated and he's getting a little bit in trouble, but he's got more mobility over Taeyun and Monkey. And true shot barrage snipe will take out the Monkey King.
We take advantage of some of the range on Ezreal, and then when he goes in to wrap up the kill or try and defend, Aki was able to sneak out in the back half and even found the snipe on the Monkey, and the spine of the map guarantees this Baron is going over to NIP for free. Mass tech.
I mean, yeah, Doinby, I think he's now at least 3,500 HP, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's less, but this is a thick victor, man. NIP, 3,000 gold ahead, but the advantage feels way more than what the numbers show.
Yeah, and I would love to see, any chance they have is a Karis ult. Karis did die with ult up in that last fight too. So things kind of going from bad to worse. We really haven't seen an impactful Weaver's Wall so far this game, Rafa.
As long as Arcane Shift is available. Meanwhile, oh goodness gracious, Vampire takes a lot of damage. Unbreakable Will forced to be used right there.
It's so
and
impossible.
Yeah, I don't think WE are gonna get in.
It's so hard. It's so hard. That angle from Leave was nasty too. As Baron recalls being popped. They got 3 seconds left on this Baron. Jojen Merchant.
That's totally valid. And what's also valid is Monkey might be caught out here. Forces the Cyclone. Tries to buy space. Aki is taking up a lot of damage. Pops the Crescent Guard. Vampire flashing forward. Tries to set up another CC engage. Shanji will split up the fight. And look where Taeyun is. He cannot get into the fight.
It's not even close.
The rest of WE's front line is just trying to buy space, but there's no space to be bought since the carries can't step up.
As Doinby approached from the side, zoned them all off, and now this next Baron going over to NIP. They'll have this one while Elder Drake is about to spawn, so you can use that to set up, and frankly, at this point, use this to try and end the game, because this does feel very NIP favored at this point, and it feels like WE just running out of ways to try and play this one out or trying to win.
Yeah, I feel like if you're WE, you're almost praying that NIP let the game go long enough so that there is a chance for an Elder flip, because then that's the best chance. Oh, dude, Vampire is... I love that he's looking. I don't know if it's going to matter, but Vampire is doing his best. Wait, that's a big chunk on Aki. Hold on, Monkey flashing forward with the Cyclone. That's the GA going down. NIP's backline is separated, but now Shanji reemerges from the shadows on the right side and becomes the super tank that NIP so desperately needed in the second turn of the fight. PP God will fall, but NIP's backline still stands tall, and Taeyun has got no ground left to go on. This is just... feels so anticlimactic, but NIP, we knew that they were favored to win. We knew that they had all the dominoes ready to crumble before WE. And you know what? There's a solid attempt there at the end, Matt, but NIP gonna sweep the series 2-0.
Taeyun doing his damnedest in that one, but of course, too big over on NIP as they successfully scaled in that game.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.